I joked with my sister's friend, "Can I stay tonight?" She blushed, and her answer changed everything. I still remember the exact moment everything changed, because it started with a joke that should have stayed a joke. "If you're kicking me out this late," I laughed, grabbing my backpack, "can I just stay here tonight?" She looked at me, really looked at me. Then, instead of laughing, her cheeks turned bright red. She lowered her eyes, smiled nervously, and whispered something that made my heart stop. "You could, if you really wanted to." In that single moment, nothing between us was simple anymore. My name is Ethan, and until that evening, Lily was just my younger sister Emma's best friend, or at least that's what I kept telling myself. Emma and Lily had been inseparable since middle school. Our house was practically Lily's second home. She'd show up after school, steal snacks from our kitchen, tease me about my terrible taste in movies, and somehow convince my mom to let her stay for dinner almost every week. Back then she was just Emma's annoying friend. At least that's how I treated her. Years passed. Emma left for college in another state, while I stayed in our hometown, running my father's small auto repair shop after he retired. Lily moved away too, finishing nursing school in the city. Life happened. People changed. Then one rainy Friday afternoon, Emma called. "Ethan, can you do me a favor?" "Depends. Lily's back in town for a few weeks. I'm sending her to pick up some boxes from our old room. Can you meet her at the house?" "No problem." I expected the same loud, messy girl I remembered. Instead, a silver car pulled into the driveway. The driver's door opened. Out stepped a woman I barely recognized. Her dark hair rested on her shoulders. She wore simple jeans, white sneakers, and a green sweater. No makeup, except a little mascara. Nothing flashy. But somehow, beautiful. She looked at me and smiled. "You've gotten old." I laughed. "You still insult people before saying hello?" "It's tradition." Some things never changed. We spent an hour carrying dusty boxes from the attic. Most were Emma's old books and childhood memories. One box burst open. Hundreds of photographs scattered across the floor. Lily picked one up and laughed. "Oh no." I looked over. It was me, age 14, wearing braces, holding a dead fish, almost as big as my arm. I looked terrible. You looked proud. I was. She kept smiling at the picture longer than seemed normal. "You've always smiled like that." "What?" "Like you actually meant it." Her voice was softer than usual. I didn't know what to say. We packed everything into her car. Just as she was about to leave, the sky exploded. Rain poured so hard we could barely see across the street. She sighed. "Guess I'm trapped. You could wait inside." She nodded. Mom had moved to Florida 6 months earlier. The house felt strangely empty. We made coffee, sat in the kitchen, talked for hours. Not about childhood, about life. She told me how exhausting hospital shifts could be, about losing patience, about pretending to stay strong. I told her how lonely the repair shop had become after Dad retired. Neither of us noticed it getting dark. Around 10 o'clock, she stood up. Outside. The rain had only gotten worse. Roads were flooding. My phone buzzed. "Emma. Don't let Lily drive," she said immediately. "The highway's underwater." "I know. Seriously, tell her to wait." I hung up. Lily looked through the window. "I'll be okay." "You won't. I've driven in rain." "Not like this." She hesitated, then laughed awkwardly. "So what now?" I grabbed my backpack from the couch. "Well, if you're kicking me out this late." She looked confused. "Can I stay here tonight?" I expected her to roll her eyes. Instead, she blushed. Her smile disappeared. "You could." Silence. She looked almost nervous. "If you really wanted to." I stared at her. "Wait." She laughed quickly. "I know you were joking." She looked away. "I've liked you for a long time, Ethan." Everything inside me froze. She kept talking before I could answer. I know it's ridiculous. You've always seen me as Emma's little friend. I get it. I never expected anything. I shouldn't have said anything. She grabbed her car keys. I'll just leave. I reached for her wrist. Lily. She stopped. I wasn't joking anymore. She slowly turned around. What? I asked because I wanted an excuse to spend more time with you. Her eyes filled with tears. You mean that? I think I do. She laughed through the tears. You think? I've been trying not to. Why? 'Cause you're my sister's best friend. She burst into laughter. I'm 26. I know. Emma would kill me. She laughed even harder. You still think she controls my life? I've seen her angry. Fair. We both laughed until the awkwardness disappeared. That night, we watched old movies, shared popcorn, talked until almost 3 in the morning. Nothing romantic happened. No dramatic kiss. Just comfort. It felt strangely natural. The next morning, sunlight poured through the kitchen windows. I woke up on the couch. Lily was already awake. She had somehow found pancake mix in the cabinet. Breakfast? You cook? I save lives and make pancakes. Impressive. She smiled proudly. Halfway through breakfast, the front door opened. Emma. She had driven all night after hearing about the flooding. She froze. Me, Lily, pancakes, coffee. The silence lasted forever. Finally she spoke. Should I ask? Neither of us answered. Emma sighed dramatically. Then she pointed at Lily. You. Lily looked terrified. Emma smiled. I was wondering how long it'd take. What? I've known you liked my brother since high school. Lily blinked. You knew? You stared at him like he invented oxygen. I couldn't stop laughing. Emma looked at me. And you? What? You've been smiling like an idiot since she walked in yesterday. I have not. You literally fixed your hair before opening the front door. I hate that she's right, I admitted. Emma folded her arms. I only have one rule. What? If either of you hurts the other. She looked directly at me. I'm taking Lily's side. I laughed. I figured. Life settled into something new after that. Dating Lily wasn't dramatic. There were no games, no pretending, no endless confusion, just honesty. She worked long hospital shifts. I'd bring her dinner. I'd stay late at the repair shop. She'd surprise me with coffee. Little things, real things. One evening she admitted something. You know that photo of you holding the fish? Yeah. I kept a copy. What? She smiled shyly. It was in my wallet. For how long? 9 years. I nearly dropped my coffee. 9? I told you. I liked you. I shook my head. You deserve a refund. She laughed so hard, she almost spilled her drink. Months passed. Then came the hardest day. My father suffered a heart attack. The doctors worked for hours. I sat outside the hospital feeling helpless. Lily wasn't assigned to his floor. She wasn't even working. But somehow she heard. She arrived wearing jeans instead of scrubs. Without saying a word, she sat beside me. She held my hand. Didn't offer fake hope. Didn't tell me everything would be okay. She simply stayed. For 6 hours. Sometimes love isn't grand speeches. Sometimes it's refusing to leave someone alone. Dad survived. Recovery was slow. Lily visited every weekend. She helped Mom organize medications over video calls. She even convinced Dad to start physical therapy. He adored her. One afternoon he pulled me aside. Don't be stupid. What? Don't be stupid. What are you talking about? He smiled. Marry that girl. I said, that's subtle. I'm old. I don't have time for subtle. A year later, I took Lily back to the old house where everything had begun. The attic was still dusty. The photographs were still there. Even the fish picture. I handed it to her. You kept one. So did you. She smiled. I guess we're both sentimental. I have one more thing. I reached into my pocket. She immediately covered her face. No. Yes. Yes. Ethan, I made one joke here once. She laughed through tears. I remember. So this time, I got down on one knee. I am absolutely not joking. She started crying before I could finish. Lily, you've been my best surprise, my safest place, my favorite conversation, for every night after this. She nodded so hard, she couldn't even speak. Finally she whispered, yes. I've been waiting years to say yes. We married the following spring, in a small garden, surrounded by family and friends. Emma gave the speech everyone expected. I spent 10 years trying to keep these two from being awkward. She looked at us and laughed. Turns out all it took was one terrible joke. Everyone laughed. So did we. Sometimes people think life changes because of huge moments. A winning lottery ticket. A dramatic confession. A perfect plan. But my life changed because of one careless sentence, spoken on a rainy night. Can I stay tonight? I meant it as a joke. She answered with her heart, and because she did, I found the love I never knew had been quietly waiting for me all along.